What's up, guys? This is Sheheryar, and you're watching All of Your Business. Today, we have some interesting and important economic activities and developments to discuss from the country and from across the globe. And we will discuss with our guest. Without any further delay, let's talk to him. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, sir?
I am fine.
Sir, weather is getting colder day by day. What are your thoughts on it?
I think there should be required a one rain, and then there will be cold weather.
The weather is quite dry these days. So I'll begin our podcast with the first question, and that is millions of Pakistanis have filed their tax returns, but a very different and a bizarre trend is being seen by the authorities, and that is surprisingly, all of the millions of Pakistanis have claimed to earn nothing at all. So FBR is actually is actually making a new radar for them, and they are going for another technique. So, sir, what is going on in Pakistan?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much for having me. Actually, in this financial year, FBR has extended its deadline for filing returns twice, and so far, FBR has received 5.5 million returns, and till the next deadline, that is October 31st, FBR is expecting that more than 3 million people will file their returns till the deadline period. But so far, the analysis done by the FBR shows that 1.7 million out of 5.5 million return filers, are almost 30 to 33%, have filed nil income. Why? Because in Pakistan, there is a concept of filer and non-filer. If someone is going to buy a car or buy a property, the rate of tax for filers is less compared to the non-filers. But I think if someone is filing his or her return for the last few years, at least FBR has some kind of record. So this record of filing of tax returns is very important to expand the tax base. There is another analysis which shows that around 1 million filers have shown the income less than the last financial year. It is also a worrisome contradiction. But I want to tell you and the whole audience that FBR has so far sent notices, a gentle reminder to more than 0.8 million tax filers, reminding them that they have all kind of their transactions, that what kind of transactions they have done. If they have bought any property, FBR has record. If they have bought any new vehicle, FBR has record, because excise data is there. And FBR has also powers to get their accounts details. So they have been informed around more than 0.8 million filers that they possessed all kind of data, and there's a data integration. So their return will be analyzed or scrutinized, keeping in view the record available with the FBR. So this time, FBR intends to conduct audit, and they have hired more than 2,000 auditors. So there will be focus for conducting an effective audit in this financial year.
Sir, nearly three electricity companies, DISCOs, GEPCA, FESCO, and KESCO have been fined over rupees 100 million for overbilling consumers, inflating losses, and failing to improve recoveries during the fiscal year 23 to 24.
Actually, 3 of the discos out of around a dozen the regulator Nepra has imposed a penalty on account of different inefficiencies. But I want to present a holistic picture. Pakistan's power distribution companies are incurring per annum losses of 500 billion rupees, more than 500 billion to be exact. So it is good omen for the country that the regulator has started imposing some kind of fine on these inefficiencies of discos. And because of these inefficiencies, consumers are at loss. So it is the responsibility of an effective regulator to penalize all those inefficiencies, and especially the JEPCO, the Gujranwala Electric Supply Company, and the KESCO, the Koita, and the third one, FESCO, Faisalabad Electric Supply Company, that if they are shown any laxity, they will be penalized. And I think it is the responsibility of the NEPRA to do it more effectively.
Sir, does that mean that people have been might have received extra bills?
Yes, in one of the penalty, I think Gujranwala Electric Supply Company, millions of consumers have received inflated bills.
Okay.
So because of this, the regulator has imposed penalty against them.
Sir, the World Bank stated that Pakistan's real GDP growth initially projected to accelerate to 3.4% in fiscal year 2026 and now expected to remain at 3%. And having said that, there are reports that inflation might surge in Pakistan. Sir, how much should we expect from now on?
Actually, World Bank has released its development outlook, and in its latest report, uh, they have revised their projection on account of growth, as the government of Pakistan had already downward revised its annual GDP growth target, mainly because of these recent floods. And the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund has also revised their projections. But I think if 3% growth is a good sign, because if we analyzed the last financial year, the GDP growth was in revised numbers. Earlier it was around 2.7%, but in revised numbers it was 3.04%. But because of this recent floods, it had really impacted the agriculture sector. So because of this, IFIs and government of Pakistan has revised downward. And because of this, we have already witnessed, and in the recent podcast we had already discussed, that there are some expectations of increases in the prices. So the CPI based inflation might slightly go up, but it will remain into the single digit.
All right, that's a relief.
But policy rate, as we have predicted, it was remained at the existing level of 11%. And I think it will hover around the same level. And after a few months period, then we should expect, when the inflation will start receding, then we should expect that it might come into the single digit in the later part of this ongoing financial year, means after April to June period.
So that means we have to wait for the
We will
inflation
have to wait,
drop down to the single digit.
because uh, State Bank of Pakistan and its monetary committee, their basic mandate is to curtail inflation. So they don't want to take any risk, because if the policy rate will reduce, it will push the demand, and when the demand will push, it will fuel inflation. So they are taking cautious step in this regard.
Sir, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, after their security pact, they have announced new economic framework to deepen ties. It talks about trade, boosting investment and development collaborations, energy and electricity interconnection projects. Sir, how do you see it, and can you tell us in simpler words to our audience that what sort of projects we are going to see or we could see?
Actually, now the time has come when Pakistan's macroeconomic fundamentals have been stabilized. There are two things which will determine the growth trajectory in the future, and it will depend on investment and savings rate. Pakistan's investment and savings is almost stagnant. That's why we are hovering in the low growth trajectory. If we if Pakistan wants to go beyond 4 to 5%, even to 6% GDP growth, we will have to fuel investment and savings. And Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, we have recently struck defense deal. Now, this is the right step in the right direction, because we will have to move from strategic ties to economic ties. And for promoting economic ties, the best solution is trade and investment. And Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have finalized a framework, and they have signed a memorandum of understanding. Now, this is the time to convert these MOUs into reality and into projects, so that Pakistan could attract multi-billion dollars investment from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And when there will be more stakes of our partners, then it will also boost the economic activities in Pakistan.
Thank you so much, sir.
Always welcome. Thank you.
That's all for today. For more economic insights, keep watching All of Your Business. Take care.